If you guys want the Tennessee Titans to beat the Cincinnati Bengals in the playoffs this week, then like the video right now. We're about to preview this week's matchup in the postseason, but I want you to like the video. It is scientifically proven. We have the data and the data behind it, that if you like the video, Tennessee is more likely to win the game. So if you don't want to be the reason why Tennessee loses, or at least a reason why they lose, like the video, show your support right now. You're watching Tennessee Titans today. I am Tom Downey, here to preview the Titans-Bengals divisional round game. The Bengals, fresh off their win over the Las Vegas Raiders in a thriller, they now get to face the Tennessee Titans. The Titans on the early lines, which of course are always subject to change. They are a 3.5-point favorite. Let's look here for a minute at the scoring offenses. The Bengals offense has been great this year. 27th in points per game. Joe Mixon's run the ball a lot, sometimes efficiently, sometimes not so efficiently. Of course, Joe Burrow has been awesome for this team throughout the season. Tennessee, their defense, though, has been elite. This is a matchup of strengths. The Bengals defense is good enough. The Titans offense, factoring in not having much of Derrick Henry this year, has been good enough. The Titans defense has been great. The Bengals offense has been great. This is a classic matchup of strengths, and in the end, I think, makes for a fantastic football game. Tennessee, for the time being, a 3.5-point favorite. I am curious to see if that line ebbs and flows and changes or not. The over-under set at 47. I will make note, 3.5 points is not a big spread, even for the postseason at home. That is indicative to me of a game Vegas thinks is going to be close. As we'll get into at the end of today's show, frankly, I am inclined to agree. Before we get too far, I want you guys to predict who you've got. I assume I'm going to see tons of T's in the comments section, but this is a democracy. We'll allow everyone to vote. So if you get the ad break here on YouTube, head down to the pinned comment. Type in T for you got the Tennessee Titans winning, or B for the Cincinnati Bengals. Of course, the big question mark, big-ish question mark, is around Derrick Henry. Namely, will he play this week? He has not yet formally been activated from injured reserve, though he's been designated to return. Mike Vrabel said you got to get him up to speed, blah, blah. I personally would be shook and shocked and stunned if Derrick Henry does not play in this game. He's had enough time to recover. Yes, foot injuries are not good for backs. I fully expect Derrick Henry back out there against the Bengals, fully-ish healthy, and getting a normal workload and probably having some success in the end. After all, the Bengals allowed some decent runs to Josh Jacobs. 13 carries, 83 yards. Now, they were up for most of that game. It forced Eric Carr to throw it. Not that great. I'll be clear. If Ryan Tannehill throws it 50 times in this game, I have very little confidence in the Titans winning. To be fair, if you're throwing it 50 times, normally you don't end up winning because that means you're playing catch-up. You're trying to make a miracle rally. And Raiders almost pulled it off. They could not, though, in the end. So Tennessee, at home, a 3.5-point favorite. The over-under set at 47. Now, I bet on the Bengals to win, not cover against the Raiders, so we'll call it 50-50 there. If you want to bet on Tennessee, which I'm assuming most of you guys want to do because they continue to be disrespected, head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code you guys see on screen. That is chat125. If you're a new BetUS user and you put down at least $100, you're going to get an extra 125% deposit bonus. It's a fantastic deal that way in case you get some bets wrong, because we all get bets wrong. But if you got that extra money, you are truly playing with house money in the end. There's no reason not to do it, folks. Go bet on Tennessee to make a playoff run here at BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code CHAT125. Let's talk Ryan Tannehill now. Let's talk about the quarterbacks overall. One of them is better, let's be honest here. Tannehill has not had his best year. 67.2% is not bad, Under 4,000 yards, okay, the touchdown-interception ratio is a problem. Now, look, A.J. Brown has missed time. Derrick Henry has missed time as well. Julio Jones has been, let's be real here, a pretty big disappointment for Tennessee. You need good Tannehill in the postseason. As great as the ground game can be, as great as the defense has been, you need your quarterback to step up and make you plays. That's what Joe Burrow has done this year for the Cincinnati Bengals. A lot of empty set. They'll use that a lot. They love it. Burrow is comfortable there. 70.4% completion rate, 34 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Didn't even have his best game against the Raiders, but he played more than well enough to get the W. That is a big deal for Tennessee. Finding a way to limit Burrow is going to be a huge factor in this game. I wonder how much you'll see these teams try to run the football. Now, Derrick Henry, in half a season, almost outpaced Joe Mixon. And Joe Mixon, statistically, had one of the better years among all running backs in the NFL. And Derrick Henry, in that half season, still almost ran for 1,000 yards. Neither guy the most efficient, 4.3 versus 4.1. That's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not the best either. I think both teams will try to run the football, but I think the Bengals will be more willing to air it out quicker than Tennessee will. So back to Derrick Henry. Will he play this week? Y for yes, N for no. I think he will. I think he's going to play. I would be shocked if he does not. So I think I'll see a lot of yeses and Ys for yes in the comments. If you disagree, though, type in N for no right now. Let's talk Larry Ojeanobi, the Bengals stud, if we're being honest here. Defensive lineman placed on IR, a season-ending foot injury, a fairly significant loss for the Cincinnati Bengals. That means they'll lean on more guys like B.J. Hill, maybe some Mike Daniels. DJ Reader's their big-time run stopper. Trey Hendrickson, by the way, left the game with a concussion. I think he'll be cleared in time. No guarantee on that. It will be worth monitoring both teams' injury reports, of course, throughout the week. If you want more free Tennessee Titans videos, then subscribe today. This is going to be your one-stop shop all off-season and in-season long for the Tennessee Titans. It's all free, and it always will be. YouTube.com/Titans today. All right, some keys to victory here. Number one, run the ball successfully. I'm not a big running backs guy. I want to air it out, but the way this particular Titans team is built, you need to go play from Derrick Henry. You need to use him and use him well, and that will open up the passing game a little bit more, make life easier on your quarterback. Running backs don't matter as much as other positions. Derrick Henry is really one of those exceptions, though. We've seen what he is able to do for this team in recent years. But even if you run the ball successfully, you will still need your quarterback to make some clutch plays, most likely on third downs. What typically ends up happening is maybe you're in a 3rd and 5, a 3rd and 4. Yeah, you could run it. You're probably not going to. You will need your quarterback, even if you're running the ball well, to make big plays. Yes, it would be great if you can win this game throwing it 8 times. Not going to get my hopes up for that particular outcome. So you will need Ryan Tannehill to play better than what he's done in some of his playoff games. Number 3, you need your defense overall to step up, and that begins with stopping Joe Burrow. I make no mistake, this is a team, the Bengals, that live and die with the arm of Burrow. Yeah, Mixon's good, whatever. Joe Burrow is going to decide whether or not the Bengals have a real shot in this game. So, can Cincinnati and can Tennessee limit the franchise quarterback? Can Cincinnati get Joe Burrow going? I think they can, but if you're Tennessee, with your very talented front, a secondary that I am a big fan of, you've got to step up. You got to make plays. If you can get an interception or two, Christian Fulton, let's ride. You're my boy. You got to stop Jamar Chase. The Burrow-Chase connection is off the charts good. Tennessee has to find a way to limit it. Stop it? Not going to happen. Limiting it, though, would be a big deal for this team and give them a very good shot of winning this game. So predict the score for me. Titans hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm about to give my score prediction, but first, I want you guys to head down to the comments section and let me know what you think the final score ends up being. My prediction is the Titans win 21-20. A narrow game goes all the way down to the wire. Tennessee guts out a close, hard-fought win. The defense of Tennessee stands strong. Their offense controls the clock a lot, and they gut out a win and get to host the AFC Championship Game against either the Chiefs or the Bills.